Hey, what's up? My name is Mariah Karina, and I have become obsessed with the process of liberation. Okay, maybe I've always been obsessed with the process of liberation, but it has really been occupying my mind and my heart recently. And obviously, a huge part of becoming empowered is having access to your eros, to your erotic energy. This is second chakra energy, your creativity, your aliveness, your expression, your sexuality. Like, so often I feel like our eros gets reduced down to like who we're actually having sex with or how it is that we're performing sexiness. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about your life force energy. That's what sex energy is. It's literally the capacity within our beings to create life. But it also is about creating anything in the world, about creating aliveness within ourselves and within our own being. And especially for women, for non-binary people, for men, for all of us who've been socialized into this time of being human, there is so much against truly becoming empowered and owning your erotic energy, owning your power of seduction. And just to speak from my own experience, when I even began to contemplate the possibility of owning my sexuality, feeling expressively free and empowered, the very first feeling that came up in me was fear. Because especially being someone who grew up in the inner city, who got followed home when I was 11, 12, 13 years old, the immediate association that I have for expressing myself, for allowing myself to be in my body, in my feeling, to be showing anything that could at all be interpreted as putting out a kind of sexual vibe was fear. Either fear of outright attack or this fear of more subversive or covert attacks that I got from like leading men on. That goes back to really, really painful, traumatic experience that happened in actual middle school. And what I noticed is that I would be feeling myself or not even aware of the type of energy that I would be putting out. It would be interpreted by a man as me being interested in them, or by a boy, by like a 12-year-old boy that I was interested in them. And then when I wasn't, and when I wasn't willing to be sexual with them or go as sexually far as they wanted me to, they would respond with rage. And so it felt like the potential consequences of me expressing sexuality, of even just dropping into my body, of even just like relaxing my voice, which everyone always said sounded like a phone sex voice. My fear is like, if I let myself do that, then I would become the target of this reservoir of repressed male rage, and that it would be met with expectation, entitlement, and anger. So it put me in this place where I was like, okay, if I'm going to express my sexuality, if I'm going to just share the erotic creature of myself with someone, it has to be safe. And the way that I can keep it safe is to have it in myself be super black or white. Either you're a yes or you're a no. And if you're a yes, then we need to create a container, like a relationship, where it's safe for me to express that to you, and I need to feel like you're invested and that you care about me. All of that's part of allowing me to open more. Or it's a no, in which case I have to super turn it off and take responsibility for not giving you the wrong impression and for containing my energy and for not getting too expressive in order to keep myself safe. And what that cuts off is, first and foremost, my own ability to feel myself and express myself and be creative and be free, which fucking matters. But it also cuts off this gorgeous exploratory possibility of the gray area. It cuts off this, I don't know how I feel about you. Let's try it. It cuts off like the experiential, empirical learning of that feedback loop of like, oh, I did this and you touched me that way and I liked it, but it didn't feel that. All of this open-ended, curious, playful exploration. And all of the skills and self-awareness and ability to communicate that we learn by being in that we have to learn in order to be in that, is cut off. And obviously, because of patriarchy. I think the other fear is that if you really express that, women will turn against you and you won't be able to have rich, rewarding relationships with women if you really do this. So what can we do, right? Because this is obviously not good for anybody. And actually, I think it's necessary for all of us right now to really ground in, to have full access to our energy, to be able to turn ourselves on, to know what turns us on, to have this creative, juicy, alive connection with ourselves and with life in order to relate and create the new world. Like, it just doesn't make sense to be carrying around all this patriarchal baggage where we're turned against ourselves.